You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days fans, I have got your full roster of weekly spoilers from Monday, October 28th, all the way through Friday, November 1st. We're going to see Philip Kiriakis tormenting Xander Cook and Stefan DiMera being absolutely relentless, and I cannot blame him. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down, click subscribe. Now let's dive right into all these juicy spoilers for next week. On Monday, October 28th, season 60, episode 46, we have got a new someone in Salem. Gabi Hernandez, I believe is his last name, is going to be in Salem. This is Gabi and Rafe's cousin, rumored to be Leo Stark's new love interest. I hope he likes cake because Leo sure does. Meanwhile, Sarah Horton goes off on her wicked mother-in-law, Fiona Cook. Hopefully, a little time behind bars has sobered her up. I cannot imagine anybody in town is going to bail her out. We'll see. On the episode prior to this, on Friday, EJ is trying to bully Fiona, so I'm interested to see that happen. Kristen tries to wiggle her way closer to Brady Black, but once he finds out about her devious games with Sarah's cure, that's not going to go too well for her. And Vivian Alamain is back and eager to keep Stefan away from Gabi. As it turns out, Stefan gets a pep talk from his big sister to forget the divorce if he really wants Gabi. And Gabi is also having second thoughts. So Vivian, of course, wants this divorce to go through and is doing all she can to keep them apart. Philip is back and messing with Xander's plans, and I'm assuming that's the plan to hand over Titan to Kristen to get that Dr. Rolf serum to reverse Sarah's paralysis. On Tuesday, October 29th, season 60, episode 47, Holly is back from Paris and she forgives Eric for killing her dad and keeping the secret. She has also forgiven Nicole. And it's just so awful. That's a whole lot of forgiveness. That's a hard one to forgive. Meanwhile, Chad catches up Julie Williams on what happened in Paris and fake Abby turning out to be Kat Green and under the thumb of Clyde and tied to awful Constantine. Messy, messy, messy. Steve tells Marlena about Kat and her brother Mark and how Clyde is supposedly holding their mom hostage and threatening her life. Meanwhile, Kat and Mark are completely terrified what Clyde is going to have his henchmen do to their mom when he finds out Mark didn't kill Chad in Paris. Wednesday, October 30th is episode 48 of season 60. Brady does some bonding with Ava, and this is, at the same time, Kristen's trying to reel him back in. It's been a minute. It was back in July. I actually did a standalone video about this because I love the idea of Ava and Brady, and more so of just Brady staying away from Kristen. But it was back in July. Brady and Ava were hanging out and they were bonding. It was when he was just falling off the wagon. It was the day of Teresa's wedding, and he was hitting on Ava and trying to go upstairs with her, and she rejected him because she was still working for Kristen and didn't want Kristen coming for her. And he ended up meeting Fiona that night. Boy, Ava should have taken him upstairs. Would have saved him a lot of pain and suffering. But now, she doesn't work for Kristen. There's no obstacle. I think it could be fun. Sophia and Tate confess that they have feelings for each other, which is interesting timing because that same day, Maggie is telling Holly, go talk to Tate if you still care about him before it's too late. And Chad is absolutely relentless in his anger at Kat for pretending to be his precious dead wife, Abigail, and he is getting tough with her on Wednesday. And of course, she's trying to tell him that she was falling for him, yada, yada. She can't be believed at this point, right? And Kayla and Roman are also talking about Chad and Kat. They are very concerned about how this trickery and chicanery have re-triggered his grief, and he's having to live through Abigail's death all over again. Thursday, October 31st is episode 49 of the current season. And we've got Johnny begging Chanel to forgive him. I think it would be one thing if he had just said, I think you were sleeping with Alex on the set. I think it was the whole cheating slut comment that may have iced the cake for her on him, no bakery pun intended, of her being really, really angry. And just the fact that he took it at face value. And again, he peeked in the room, and I just don't know how he mistook Stephanie for Chanel. Chanel is fully like a foot shorter than her and African-American. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, I understand how Seth, the doctor who's now a soap star, didn't understand who was the actress, but that's just crazy. So Johnny is begging Chanel to forgive him, and things are about to get a lot more awkward because, Joy just gave him back the wedding ring that he left in her room. We have to presume they did something. He was alone in her room. Whether they did the entire deed or not, they did something. And she lands a role on Body and Soul, and she's supposed to be the homewrecker who's breaking up Alex and Chanel's character. But in real life, maybe the homewrecker that's breaking up Johnny and Chanel if Chanel finds out. Alex and Stephanie are coping with the aftermath of their hookup on set. Fortunately, Kate decided not to fire Stephanie, but now everybody knows, and Kate has ordered them to stay away from each other. I mean, they can see each other after work. They're neighbors, but is this going to be a temptation? And will that temptation make things more attractive between them? We'll see. Meanwhile, Leo has a Halloween-themed nightmare. So a lot of times on Halloween, the whole episode is kind of a throwaway. It's just all nonsense, zombies, whatever. But based on these spoilers, it looks like only part of the episode, maybe, a dream sequence that's Halloween-y. We'll see. Friday, November 1st is season 60, episode 50, and Holly is nervous and she is waiting to hear from Tate. But is Tate out with Sophia instead? Maybe, because the thing is, he's mad at Holly. I mean, and as he said to Aaron the other day, two big issues. First and foremost, she left him sitting in jail because she didn't want to get grounded if her mom found out she'd been doing drugs. So she was willing to ruin his life so she didn't get in trouble with her mom. Horrible behavior. And then she was creeping around his dad Brady's room looking for evidence to put his dad in jail. Just horrible breach of trust both ways. Xander makes a deadly offer to Kristen. I think he may tell her he's going to kill her if she doesn't give Sarah that serum because Philip, is getting in the way. And Kate asks Chanel to give Johnny a second chance. It's interesting that Kate is asking, and I wonder if it's because it's making things hard at work. I don't know. And Vivian and Philip do some scheming. She adores him. And Johnny has to ask Joy to keep a secret. And I guess when he asks her to keep that secret, or before, but at least by then we'll find out if they were just hanging out in her room or if they did the deed. I mean, he took the wedding ring off and she would not tell her mom, no, I didn't sleep with him. She was being cagey. So we'll see. Looks like a good week, though.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.